The title of this piece is particularly important to understand in order to properly interpret the work. It takes its name from the rhythm of an optional movement of the Baroque dance suite that is thought to have originated in the Canary Islands. I'm referring to the compound rhythm of dotted eighth, 16th, 8th, also known as the timpani rhythm from Beethoven's 7th Symphony. Timpani, timpani, timpani. This rhythm permeates Canaries, especially on the first and third pages, and must be played with the correct dance feel to be true to the title of the piece. So each note in this little figure carries a different weight. The first note carries the most, then the last note, the 8th note, comes next in weight, and finally the 16th note has the lightest touch. So you can think of it by first singing or playing just the pulses, bum, 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 then add the last note, bum, 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 and finally add the graceful 16th note, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Carter even reminds us that this is how it goes by adding a little parenthetical accent to the beginning of each figure. Here is a little mental trick you can use to play this section accurately and with the right phrasing. Beginning in this 2-4, instead of counting sixteenths in 2-4, 3-4, and 5-4, count those three measures in 5/16 at 96 per 5/16 measure. It works out perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. In this challenging section, the left hand maintains a steady 64 beats per minute, while the right hand progresses through a series of metric modulations. It may not be obvious that is what is happening when you first study the score, but that is exactly how Carter came up with those very odd rhythms in the left hand. Here is how I recommend you approach this section. First, learn the right hand alone. For my DVD, Stuart Marrs on Elliott Carter, 8 Pieces for Four Timpani, Performance and Analysis, I created some custom metronomes for each metric piece in the set, including this one, where you can check your rhythms and metric modulations against a perfect MIDI version. So, after you have the right hand secure, place the left hand relative to the right hand. For example, this note falls just after halfway between two right hand notes, and this one falls just before halfway between two right hand notes. Now, one of them is a 32nd note off of halfway, and the other is a 64th note off of halfway. But we will take care of that later. So, after they are approximately in the right places, now set your metronome on 64 for the whole passage, and make sure your left hand does not stray from that metronomic pulse. That will fix those slight deviations left over from your early approximations. On the third page here, make sure you continue to respect the canary lilt of this compound rhythm, even though the passage is very fast and soft. Slight accent here and graceful sixteenths. This section is quite tricky due to the polyphony. The dynamics are different in the two voices, and the beating spots are also different between the two voices. Carefully note that Carter alternately flips which notes are played in the center and which are normal. For example, the 16th notes first are in the center, then here they are normal, then here they are in the center, etc. Note that più forte means louder than the mezzo forte that precedes it, but not as loud as the forte that follows. That is to say, più forte just means louder, and not necessarily louder than forte. So the più forte here is somewhere between the mezzo forte and forte.